Now where are you hiding? What are you doing in there? Come on out. You're gonna get washed.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome
To the Mounjaro Diaries. It's been a while, I know, with good reason. Well, no, not with good reason at all, actually. I was feeling quite down for a little while, actually, for the first time in months. Other than when my lovely little dog had to be put down earlier this year, I haven't felt down like this for ages, and it was all to do with sleep. I had to do 6 night shifts in a row at work, and it nearly killed me. Being up and awake during the night shifts is absolutely fine, but trying to get back to a normal pattern after that, to a normal sleeping pattern, just felt impossible for about a week. So I was averaging probably about 3 to 4 hours sleep after that each day because I really struggled. Couldn't get back into a routine ready to start my next lot of shifts, which were going to be earlies, which is 6 a.m. till 2 p.m. And it's the hardest time I've had in 2.5 years I've been doing the job that I'm doing, trying to get over those 6 nights. So I'm going to try what's called a twilight shift next, all being well, which means I'll probably be working from around 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. So hopefully that'll just feel like I'm going to bed late and allow me to fall asleep more easily and get up at a reasonable time still, so that the adjustment factor will be a lot smaller come my rest days. Ready? What's coming up in today's video? Well, I still don't have any fancy schmancy titles, so you're going to have to put up with a video of me doing random things while I tell you what's coming up in the video. So you're probably watching that right now as I speak. In no particular order, I'm going to talk about why I've decided to start tracking my nutrition 6 months into my health and weight loss journey. I'm going to have a recap of my past videos because I think that's quite important, just a reminder both for me and for you if you're a regular watcher of what I've already been discussing and all the points that I've found have been useful to me. I'm going to discuss my feelings towards other Mounjaro and Ozempic users who don't change their habits, particularly their eating habits. I get frustrated, almost annoyed or cross with other YouTubers when they're talking about their weight loss drugs and giving out poor advice. Also going to give one of my key opinions on what not to do if you are new to or about to start weight loss drugs. I'm going to reveal my latest weight loss figures and I'll cover what dosage I'm using of Mounjaro for the moment. So without further ado and lack of fancy schmancy titles, let's get on. So a quick recap of my prior videos. I think this is video number 5 I'm doing today. Not sure, it's about that anyway. My 4% mantra. For those of you who've seen it, you may remember. For those of you who haven't, I do suggest you go back and watch those videos because I think this is still useful. But I came up with a figure of 4%. It's a mantra. I needed a mantra to remember and remind myself day to day what I was doing or why what I was doing was going to be beneficial for me and that it wasn't going to be a hard slog. So I came up with this mantra of 4%. So what's 4%? So 4% was the amount of time each day in a 24-hour period I needed to dedicate to my health and fitness journey, if you like, and weight loss journey each day, just 4%. And of that 4%, which happens to be 1 hour, I would spend 20 minutes doing a walk or part brisk walk, part normal walking. And then I'd then spend 40 minutes over the course of the day preparing my 2 main meals. My breakfast was just a bowl of cereal, still is a bowl of cereal most days. So that takes no time at all. So I was allowing 20 minutes to make my dinner and 20 minutes to make my lunch. It's funny how I mentioned dinner first and not lunch, but I guess that's because I work shifts. So lunchtime is sometimes at dinner time, breakfast is sometimes at lunchtime, and everything else in between, I suppose. Anyway, so I did a 4% mantra. It's actually 4.11116, if I remember rightly with the maths, is 1 hour out of 24, but I rounded it down because it's easier, and I think I can still justify doing that. Talk about walking.
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
I'm walking here. Get out.
Quite a lot, and how I ignore the 10,000 steps a day as being a target. I wanted to focus on making myself feel fitter mentally as well as physically, and I've been leading a sedentary lifestyle for so long now that 6,000 steps or somewhere around there was more than adequate and has been for the last 6 months, although I am going to start upping my game with that now. I also introduced an NHS promoted app called Active 10, which helps you work out whether you're walking at a brisk pace, whether you're walking at a brisk pace or not. That's really helpful. So check back and look at that video if need be for that, but look up Active 10 if not, if you haven't got time. It's very useful. I also talked at length about BMI, working out your own BMI and your physical activity levels. I probably sent some people to sleep while I did it, but the ideology behind it is very useful. You need to know how many calories on average your body's going to require before you do any exercise, before you change your eating habits in any kind of dramatic way, and combine that with and be honest with what your physical activity level is. Because if you don't know what kind of margin you're giving yourself in terms of a deficit each day if you're looking to lose weight and lose fat. I also talked about milestones, not goals. Well, I've got one big goal, and then I wanted to stick to milestones going forward. And the big goal is I wanted to give myself up to 2 years to lose approximately half of my body weight. So I started off in February this year with a body weight of 25 stone or 353 pounds. And my BMI was 48. I was morbidly obese. I'm still obese now, but I'm well on my way to achieving some better health results, that's for sure. So that was my big goal. I'm looking at potentially up to half my body weight over 2 years. And there's a reason for that. I wanted it to be a stretching goal, but I also wanted to make sure that, when I get there in 2 years' time, if I have been good and if I have been sticking to a good routine of improving my fitness and my nutrition and my health overall, if I don't quite make it to being half the body weight that I am now, I'll probably be, maybe I might be 14 stone instead of 12 stone or 12 and a half stone I'm aiming for. Or I know I'm going to be bloody happy with that result. But I don't want to use any other goals after that. I just set myself up with milestones in my mind. And the reason for that being was I talked about how goal setting can really set yourself up for failure or for negative thoughts and feelings. I also talked about some side effects. I thought it was about time I mentioned some of the side effects that I'd been having. I know there's plenty of them out there. I think I've been quite lucky overall. Backache. And I also talked about the dreaded constipation.
I don't think it's nice you laughing.
Don't laugh, because I'll set Clint on you otherwise. Besides, it might happen to you one day, weight loss drugs or no weight loss drugs. Now, weight loss figures. When it comes to reading the scales, I often get this really weird feeling. It's like I can't believe everything that's happened over the last few months is true, and it's almost like a dream when I look at the actual readouts. So as of the 8th of August, which is exactly 6 months to the day when I took my first weight loss injection of Mounjaro and made my decision that I was going to eat healthier, act healthier, and try and improve my health in various different ways, I have lost 96 pounds or 6.8 stone.
You did it. We did it. Yeah, we did it. Yeah, we did it.
Saying that out loud, I don't know how to feel about that. Surprised, shocked, happy, amazed, probably all of the above. 96 pounds, nearly 100 pounds, 4 pounds short, but I'm not setting a goal. When I get past 100 pounds, that'll be a nice milestone to celebrate. So I now weigh 257 pounds or 18.3 stones to be precise, whereas I started off at 25 stone and 353 pounds 6 months ago. I know my wife's pleased. Do you want to see that again? Because I do. Anyway, that's my body weight. I have been taking some weight. I have been taking some other measurements like my waist and my chest and my hips, but I don't know how relevant they are to you. It's just helpful to me to know that I'm going in the right direction, that my chest size, well, all of my measurements are coming down gradually, some more speedily than others, which is quite interesting, but maybe I'll talk about that in another video. But I did want to just mention to you as well today that the dosage I'm currently taking is 12.5 milligrams of Mounjaro. That's my monthly dosage at the moment. and I'm on my second month of using it. I decided not to step up to the final dose of 15 milligrams. And that's primarily because this strength is working for me. But I should also add to that, though, that all the other strengths were working for me. But I rather foolishly kept stepping up month after month to the next stage, the next dosage up of Mounjaro. And I really do wish I hadn't. It's not a big regret, but it was all working for me. I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm beginning to feel hungry or I'm getting any funny side effects and things like that. I wasn't plateauing with my weight loss as such. So I don't know why I kept stepping up. I think initially it was because I knew in my mind that I was going to give it a few months, let my body adjust to my new nutritional habits and reduce calorie intake and things like that before I started doing exercise. And I was quite worried that if I introduced too much too soon, doing exercise and weightlifting and things like that, on top of reduced calorie intake, that my dosage would need to go up quite quickly to cope with that and stop me from feeling hungry. But I think that was ill-founded, although I haven't started the weight training yet. I'm about to very shortly. I don't feel any hunger pangs and things like that. I adjust my dietary intake as I need to. I eat more fibre, I eat more protein, and I'm sure that's helping me not feel hungry at times where otherwise I might have done on a lower dose. I think in the early days I really did think about food.
Will it be chips or jacket spuds? Will it be salad or frozen peas? Will it be mushrooms, fried onion rings?
You'll have to wait and see.
Food, and was I feeling hungry and things? Because I was questioning myself and my feelings all the time when I first started Mounjaro, and obviously worrying about feeling hungry. I didn't want to feel hungry because that meant that then that the drug might not be working right. When in reflection, really, it was about, was I eating the right foods? I find it really easy to when someone offers me a biscuit or a sweet, and I feel no sadness in doing so whatsoever. I don't feel jealousy. I don't get any funny pangs. I'm quite happy not eating biscuits and candy and sweets and things like that. I also wanted to mention to you, I think I mentioned it in the opening credits, if you like, as to why I'm now using a nutrition tracker, and I wasn't in the early days in the first few months. So I've been really focused on eating well, as you know, and I'm not eating any rubbish at all. I worked out my BAR and my physical activity level, and I know what kind of deficit I'm creating each day. But I like to make sure that I'm also hitting the advice figures of, for example, the 30 grams of fibre a day. And I also want to make sure I'm eating around 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. And incidentally, I checked with my nutritionist on this. The body weight target versus how much protein you think you should be taking, or per kilogram of body weight, I should say, is for a healthy body. It's not for my overweight, morbidly obese body. So I'm not eating 1.2 grams of protein for every kilogram that I weigh now or weighed at the beginning of this journey. It's where I think I should be, which is between 12.5 and 14 stone. So that's what I'm basing it on. All right, I have to turn that into kilograms. But I'm basing the 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight at my end goal weight. And I also want to focus more on calcium because I want to be sure I'm getting enough calcium for my poor old bones, and I'm not sure I have been in the past. I'm having milk every day with my all bran. I'm eating a small piece of cheese. I'm doing all sorts of other things, but I'm not convinced that I'm near enough or past what my goal should be for calcium. I'm happy that all the other nutrients and the vitamins and minerals I need are taken care of with my normal daily eating habits. So the app I use is called NutriCheck. It's very good. There's loads of them out there, absolutely loads. You might have tried some, you might be using some now, tried some in the past, read up on recommendations. And I think I've told you before or alluded to before, I spend hours and hours and hours online researching things before I go ahead and either spend my hard-earned money or load up something I want to try using. I want to make sure I'm using the best or what I feel is the best for me. And NutriCheck hits those things. I'm still enjoying preparing and cooking meals, just like relatives did in my past.
You just can't beat the smell of Gran's cooking. Nearly done.
So my feelings towards weight loss jab users who are not changing their dietary habits. I hear this quite a lot. I talk to people who do it. I know of people who do it, and I get it on good authority that there's a lot of people out there who are taking Mounjaro or other weight loss drugs who aren't really changing their eating habits. If you're going to be considering taking these very powerful drugs, life-altering, I suppose you could call them drugs, you really do need to change your dietary habits. You've got to give up eating the candy and the crisps and the donuts. 100% if possible for the first few months or year, I would suggest. That's a personal feeling. That's not a medical piece of advice. Because otherwise, what's it for? And if you're not getting it free on the NHS, you'll be paying for it yourself, and you'll be paying upwards of £200 a month like I am to get Mounjaro or other weight loss drugs. And then on to something else. I'm turning into a bit of a...
I don't believe it.
Victor Meldrum at the moment. Because I'm seeing lots of poor advice being given out online, particularly on YouTube. Now, I don't have a lot of time to spare to watch lots of other people's YouTube channels and videos because I'm always busy doing something. But when I do, I'd like to take a look at what people are talking about on there. And I find myself getting frustrated, possibly... when I see YouTubers giving out willy-nilly advice without thinking about the consequences or their influence that they're having on other people. But there was a gentleman who wrote in the comments under one of the videos recently, and he said, "Oh, Mounjaro is not working for me. I'm always hungry. I can't believe it. I'm always hungry." And then he went on to say in his comment, this is what I'm doing for my nutrition. And he started off by saying that he was eating for breakfast completely ultra-processed foods, by the way. Protein crackers, all right? Protein crackers. Anyway, his breakfast he listed, and he also mentioned he was having chicken, which is good. He also talked about having protein shakes, and then there was lots of other things in there that it was all about having supplements. He was taking lots of supplements and things like that, supplementary drinks, supplementary shakes, this, that, and the other. And then he also happened to say at the end, you know, and I'm going out there and I'm burning 500 calories or more each day. I go cycling or running, and I also do swimming almost every day. He kind of said, you know, what am I doing wrong? And I said to him, or I commented to him in response, you know, one, that it didn't seem like he was eating a lot of natural foods. There was rather a lot of supplementation going on, which might well lead you to feeling hungrier, because the time it takes to process a milkshake or a protein shake through your stomach and your digestive system is a lot quicker than digesting solid foods. So I then asked him another further question. I said, you know, how long have you been doing this exercise regime for? And he came back and he responded and he said, oh, I've only just started doing it now while I've started Mounjaro. He said, I couldn't possibly imagine doing any exercise before taking Mounjaro. And he was in week 1, week 2, I think it was. And I was like, I wanted to pat my head and like, it's staring you in the face. What's the matter with you, man? I mean, he's absolutely, his body must be screaming out. It's like, for the first time in months or years, and he's morbidly obese, he started taking Mounjaro and reduced his calorific intake of food. All right? Not eating the best of foods necessarily, but he's reducing his calories. But on top of that, his poor body's now being shocked into doing all this sudden exercise that he hasn't done in years as well, burning the few calories, or a lot of the fewer calories, that he's been consuming. So it's no bloody wonder he's all the time. Mounjaro is a supportive drug. It's not a magic drug. Anyway, as you can tell, I'm quite passionate about this. But it was the response from the man whose channel it was, the YouTuber. And he said to a lot of us who'd commented, he said, you may be wrong or right about his dietary intake and things, but the fact still remains is that Mounjaro is not working for him. So it's not working at that level. He needs to increase his dosage. Oh my goodness me. That put me in a bad mood. He's not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. It was, I thought, and you might disagree with me, I thought it was blindingly obvious. He's reduced his calorie intake quite considerably. But on top of that, he's introduced exercise for the first time in years as well. So it's like a double whammy to your body, and your body can't cope. It's going to be like, bloody hell. I need more calories. Of course it needs more calories. Mounjaro is not magic. You still need to consume food. You still need to consume energy and nutrients and vitamins and minerals to supply your body with the fuel it needs. But take it away, and take it away through exercise as well. It's no bloody wonder he was feeling hungry and feeling let down by Mounjaro. And I was absolutely incensed that the YouTuber said, just needs to up his dosage of Mounjaro. Nonsense. He needs to think about what he's eating and what he's doing and introduce things incrementally and more slowly and taking it easy. I said it in my first video. I've probably said it in every video, and I'm saying it again in this one. Do not set yourself up to fail. Don't set yourself up to fail. Set yourself up for success. There's absolutely no need to go out and do all that exercise straight away in your first couple of weeks of taking a weight loss drug. You're balmy if you do. And if you have done that, good for you if you're still managing to do everything okay. That's all I can say. So that's my rant over on that. Are you new to taking weight loss drugs, or are you about to start taking weight loss drugs such as Mounjaro or Ozempic or tirzepatide as it's called in America and things like that? I've got one piece of advice, not medical advice, and opinion that I'm sharing here, and it's all about what not to do when you start out on them. Please, 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 as I've just discussed, do not do too much too soon. Focus on taking the drug, focus on how you feel, and focus on your nutrition and what you're actually consuming. In fact, I would suggest for the first month or so, don't even worry about calorie counting or anything like that. Just focus on eating well and eating healthy products for you to get nutrition into you. And that might well help offset a lot of the side effects that you could potentially have from taking strong drugs like Mounjaro. Please, just take it easy. Go slow, don't overdo it, don't introduce exercise or certainly vigorous exercise in the opening month or weeks. Do some walking instead. Now, so a final note about my goals and my milestones, or my one big goal and my milestones. I've had an epiphany over the last week or so, and I was thinking about it. I was trying to write a script or some notes about this video, and it really helps. I enjoy doing that because it makes me think about what's happened to me over the last few weeks, how I'm feeling and where I see my future and things like that. So finally, at the age of 50, I now understand what people mean when they say it's all about the journey and not the destination. It's all about the journey, not the destination. And I can completely appreciate it now and understand it. So I might change my channel name to something more appropriate and avoiding using the word Mounjaro in the title by the time my next video comes out. As to several reasons. Well, it's been on my mind since day one, since I first created it. And Mounjaro is actually a brand name anyway, so it feels a bit funny using a brand name in my title for my YouTube channel. So I might change that to reflect more about the fact that I talk a lot about my goals, my nutrition and my health and things like that. It's not just about Mounjaro. That's obviously been a key for me though this year because it's been supporting me whilst I focus on weight loss, exercise, nutrition and things like that. So that's just a heads up on that. You may see my next video come up in your timeline or a suggested video and you won't recognize the name of it, but you'll still see my ugly mug on the thumbnail, hopefully, to remind you that it's still me. I've just renamed my channel. But why did I have that epiphany? Well, the epiphany is, it's all about the journey, not the destination. Because right the way back at the start here, when I was talking about my one major goal, and that is to look at potentially halving my body weight, body size, is quite a stretching goal. And that I did say to you that if I don't make it, if I don't achieve that goal, I'm quite sure I will still be happy, because I should be if I'm still following my new lifestyle. I should be feeling absolutely brilliant in myself, as I already do. I should be feeling very fit. I should be feeling very healthy, and I should be feeling very happy because of those things. And therefore, my journey getting to that point in time, in my 18 months to 2 years position, it should have been, it should have been quite the journey. It should have been quite the journey. It already has been. It's been 6 months. I hope some of what I've discussed today, when I say discussed, the discussion is two-way, isn't it? It's been a long time since my first video is this one, and that's all because of those bloody night shifts I did and feeling absolutely knackered and frustrated and tired just all the time. So it made it very difficult to make one of these. But I didn't give up on my nutrition. I still continue to eat healthy. I must add that as well, shouldn't I? But I'm back on the horse now, so to speak. Today really felt like a bit more of a recap session than anything else, just to get myself back into the swing of things, although I have spoken about some things that have annoyed me and frustrated me online, fairly or not. It's all an opinion at the end of the day, isn't it? I do respect everybody that's on YouTube creating videos like I'm doing. It's not easy, and for some people, it probably took a lot of guts. Initially, anyway. On that note, adios. I'll see you next time.